We invite you to watch the English Chinese news of the Central TV channel of Đồng Nai Province. Ladies and gentlemen, on January 16th, the National Assembly listened to Minister of Finance Hồ Đức Phước present the government's submission on the draft resolution on a number of specific mechanisms and policies to remove difficulties and obstacles and accelerate the implementation of national target programs.
In the draft resolution, the government submitted to the National Assembly to pilot 8 specific mechanisms and policies, specifically the regulation of the allocation and settlement of annual essential purchase recurrent expenditure estimates, stipulating adjustment to state purchase estimates and annual capital investment plans. Orders, procedure, criteria, and samples of doses for selection of production development projects, regulation on the use of state purchase in case of assigned owners of production development projects to carry out the procurement of goods for production development activities by themselves, regulation on management and use of assets formed from production development support projects, provision on self-balancing capital trust of local purchase through social policy banking system, stipulate the pilot mechanism for decentralization of district in the management and organization of the implementation of national target programs, regulation on assignment of medium-term public investment plans and annual capital investment for small-scale and technically uncomplicated construction investment projects.
The Civil Aviation Administration of Vietnam said it would monitor and ask airlines to balance and increase flights on high-demand routes during Lunar New Year 2024.
Although airlines have increased flights with more than 92,000 seats, the tickets on many routes have almost sold out. As of the weekend, airlines sold 80% to 1% of seats on flights between Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and other provinces and cities during peak Tết from January 24th to February 25th. The number of customers making reservations is gradually increasing, so the booking rate is at high level on some days close to Tết and vice versa after Tết. According to the Civil Aviation Administration of Vietnam, during Tết, from January 25th to February 24th, 2024, domestic airlines will operate and supply about 4.5 million tickets across the domestic flight network, an increase of 4% compared to the last Lunar New Year.
The Department of Labor, War, Influence and Social Affairs of Nai Province has just updated the 2024 Tết salary and bonus situation of enterprises. Accordingly, up to now, the total number of enterprises reporting Tết bonus situation in 2024 is 944 enterprises.
In the FDI enterprise sector, the highest bonus is $1 billion per person. The lowest for employees with less than 12 months of employment is $200,000 per person. The average is $6.8 million per person. In the private enterprise sector, the highest is $100 million per person. The lowest for employees with less than 12 months of employment is $200,000 per person. The average is $5.5 million per person. For single-member limited liability companies with 100% charter capital, the highest is $30.7 million per person. The lower for employees with less than 12 months working time is $6 million per person. The average is $12.3 million per person. For joint stock companies contributing dominant capital of the state, the average is $7 million per person. The Nai Provincial People's Committee had issued a decision approving the 2024 land use plan of following districts: Vĩnh Cửu, Cẩm Mỹ, Tân Phú, Định Quán, Thống Nhất, Trảng Bom, Xuân Lộc, and Long Khánh City. The Provincial People's Committee assigns the People's Committee of Districts and Cities to announce and publicize land use plans in accordance with the provision of land law, announce the cancellation of the list of projects for more than 3 years without decision on land acquisition or permission to change land use purposes in case they are not eligible for a transition to 2024 land use plan, carry out the land acquisition, land allocation, land lease, change the land use purposes in accordance with approved land use plans, organized regular inspection of the implementation of land use plans, take responsibility before the Provincial People's Committee for cases of change of land use purposes of households and individuals in the local land use plan in 2024.
On January 16, the Propaganda Department of the Provincial Committee organized a conference to implement the topic of learning and following human ideology, morality, and style in 2024, building Đồng culture and people to develop comprehensively according to human ideology, morality, and style.
At the conference, delegates listened to Associate Professor Dr. Nguyễn Quốc Dũng, Director of the Economy of Politics Region 2, presented two thematic contents, including human ideology, morality, and style on building culture and people, and Đồng learning and follow for human ideology, morality, and style in building cultures and people. The conference also implemented the views, objectives, and tasks and solutions in Resolution Number 12 of the Provincial Committee on building and promoting cultural values and people of Đồng Nai to become an important resource and driving force for comprehensive and sustainable development. In order to concretize the implementation of 2024 thematic content and the content of Resolution Number 12, Comrade Hồ Thanh Sơn, Deputy Parliament Secretary of Provincial Party Committee, proposed that party committees, party organization levels, and branches implement the 2024 thematic study and the resolution on various forms, diversity, creativity, efficiency. 7. Focus on deeply connecting with realities of agency, units, and localities, highlighting the roles and responsibilities of each organization and individuals. Comrade Hồ Thanh Sơn said, bringing content that follows human ideology, morality, and style in general, and on building culture in people in particular, is associated with key tasks and practical in implementing present resolution of party congresses at all levels. Focus on removing difficulties and obstacles to solve them with practical actions, promoting a high sense of responsibility, dedication spirit, creative labor, serving the fatherland and serving the people. Comrade Hồ Thanh Sơn requested leaders of departments, branches, and localities to pay attention to directing and researching more practical, effective, strong, and trust measures to promote and develop culture in general and the characteristics of Đồng Nai culture in particular, contributing to fulfilling the goals and targets of socio-economic development plans, ensuring national defense and security.